Well, if you can control your technology, you can regain control of your life, according to this lady, Amy Blankson. She is the author of The Future of Happiness. Yeah, sell me one of those books. Let's talk first of all about digital distraction. And it's interesting because Apple just announced the next software upgrade. You're going to be able to look at your screen and say, have I really been looking at the screen that much today?
It's shocking. The average smartphone user checks their phone 150 times a day. That's the equivalent of at least 2.5 hours of our day spent just looking at our phones. Unfortunately, the Apple release is not going to come out till this fall. So for those individuals who are looking for ways to control their phone usage in the next couple of months, I have some great tips and strategies I'm excited to share today.
Okay, well, let's talk about digital distraction. And that's probably exactly what we're talking about, is that in this 24-hour day, you're spending an inordinate amount of it looking at this. For what? What do I think I'm going to get out of looking at the screen?
So technology, we know, is built to be distracting, and it's highly effective at doing so. When we look at technology, we feel like we might get a message and we feel needed. That gives us a dopamine hit that becomes more and more addictive over time. So we find that 38% of individuals are actually reaching for their phone, even if they haven't gotten a message. They're just checking to see if they might be needed.
Right. And this is contributes to our happiness or unhappiness as well. You're on something called the United Nations Global Happiness Council?
Yes, we're working really hard to come up with metrics for how you measure well-being across the world. How do you define happiness? What does that look like? And how do you define well-being indicators that you can plan a city and a country around how to make citizens happier? So not just making ourselves smarter cities, but actually happier cities that are thinking about the future of where we're going in terms of our lives on a more holistic level.
Okay, so the happy hacks, as you call them, turn off the notifications, which will just be bugging you. It's like, oh, now I have to check that screen.
Exactly. If it's not a human notification, i.e. a text message, turn it off. You can still check it, but then you're not constantly getting interrupted. We find that every single interruption that comes through, every text message, doubles your error rates. 2.2 seconds to read a text message, your error rates have now doubled. And it takes you 11 minutes on average to get back to what you were doing before, which explains why we're always saying, okay, now what was I doing?
Yeah, limit your information feeds,
Yes.
the things that are coming in that are sensory input to your brain.
Exactly. And by doing so, we're helping to eliminate the constant trying to monitor our behavior, which actually wears down our brain over time. The more that we're trying to resist doing a behavior actually makes us less productive because it takes brain power to do so.
When you see a family sitting at a restaurant and all of them are looking at their smartphones, do you want to just go over and hug them, smack them, yell at them? What does it make you want to do?
It makes me want to go on Fox and tell everybody, hey, we need to do something about this, because this is the beginning of how we shape the future. If we want the future to look like that, with everyone down on their iPhones at dinner tables around the world, we probably don't need to do anything different. We're on track for that. But if we want a future that looks a little bit different, then we need to start changing our behavior right now, today.
All right, excellent. You are going to be speaking at the International Positive Education Network Festival in Fort Worth. We have a link to the festival and to your book, The Future of Happiness, on fox4news.com. Great tips. Thank you.
Thank you.